Hello everyone, this is Carly at Crafting with Class, and today I'm sharing my son's birthday card for his 22nd birthday. So here it is. It's really simple because he's a simple kind of guy. Plus, it's what's on the inside that counts, right? Anyway, so I'm also using this week's MFT sketch number 274 as my inspiration point. So let's get started and I'll show you how I made this card. Now I've started with creating some of the panels, getting them ready. I used Night of Navy cardstock and I ran the top panel through the Cuttlebug Happy Birthday embossing folder because I really liked that texture and I wanted it in the background. But I didn't want those flowers because after all it's for my son. So I will show you what I did to kind of take care of that. I die cut a cardstock and a pattern paper out of the Nestabilities large squared dies in to create the gift. Now I did that so kind of to strengthen the gift. I die cut some stars so to cover up all those little flowers, but I'm not going to let you watch all that. So fast forward, I have glued all the little stars to kind of where I'm going to need it. So now I'm going to adhere those two pieces of paper together to give that pattern paper a little bit of strength. And I cut two strips of cardstock so that just to decorate the gift. And I use this Sizzlit die that's pretty old and I'm not sure if it's still available because I've had it forever and a day. So I'm going to go ahead and attach the little strips with the multimedia mat because it does give me a little bit of wiggle room until I adhere it down. And then I'm going to go ahead and trim off the excess. And I'm really just eyeballing it. I'm definitely not measuring. I'm a little bit too lazy, at least for this card. So there it is. I'm trimming the edges and then I'm going to attach that bow with some foam adhesive for dimension. Okay, so next, now that I have the little gift, I want to make sure I like where it's going to be placed and it's going to, be in the right spot. So I'm going to go ahead and pop it up for dimension. So I am attaching some foam adhesive to the back. And a little bit too much overhang, so I'm going to go ahead and keep that piece for another project because always, you can use a little piece. So I'm going to go ahead and attach that front panel to my card base with my ATG gun adhesive, and I'm going to go ahead and add a little bit to the center because it's got, different ridges and little nooks and crannies. Okay, so now I'm going to go ahead and attach the gift, kind of thinking about making sure that it's where I want it and it's hiding those flowers that I didn't cover up with the stars. Okay, so that is where I'm going to place it, and that is pretty much the card. Really, really simple. I did make a few additions after the video, so I'll share those with you in a moment. I'm using the stamp set from Simon Says Stamp, and it's called Happy Every Day, and I really love that happy birthday sentiment. So I want to put it right in the middle, and I'm going to be using my new Misty tool for that. This is the first time I use it, so ta-da! Let's see how it works. So I placed the sentiment where I wanted it and I picked it up with the lid, and I am going to be using Pear Pizzazz ink as well as Night of Navy ink from Stampin' Up because it coordinates with the cardstock that I used. And I'm going to do some selective stamping so I can get two ink colors on the stamp. So I'm going to, oh my word, and I just noticed that the image or me comes up on the acrylic lid, which is horrifying because this is from the worst possible angle, which is from below. So it is not the most flattering. So I apologize for that. So I'm just I used some washi tape to cover up the amazing part so that I can get just the top and the bottom portion of the sentiment and that Night of Navy. And I'm just going to go ahead and take my baby wipe and clean up the excess ink. And then I'm going to go ahead and stamp it. And I was nervous, to be honest. I wasn't sure how this was going to work out, but you were all right. You were all right. This tool is pretty cool. So I'm just removing the excess ink and taking my chamois that I was too lazy to spray with some water and just kind of, picking up any excess water. So I'm going to, I inked up the whole stamp with the Pear Pizzazz ink, and then I'm just going around and just wiping away the parts that I don't want. And I'm going to take my chamois and go ahead and kind of clean off any wetness that's left from the baby wipe. And I'm going to stamp that middle part so that the amazing is in that green. And it wasn't perfect, so I had to go ahead and re-ink it again, but this is a Misty, so this is, one of the pluses of having it is you can re-ink it and you know that it's going to be in the same exact place. So just a couple more squeezes and I was a little bit happier with that. So, overall, I would say this is, pretty cool. So I removed my stamp from there. So now that's all that I was going to do with the inside because it's a big sentiment. So I need room to tell my son I love him. So I'm going to attach it to the inside. And that's it pretty much. I'm going to show you in the end. Oh, and I got a little bit of, I think, nail polish or something for my nails. So I took my sand eraser from Tombow to kind of just buff that out. So I'm going to show you what I did to the card just to give it a little bit more something. So I just took my G24 Copic marker and I did some, highlighting, some shadows, and then I added the little tag with the 22 on it just to give it a little more embellishment. And once again, here is the inside of the card. So I thank you so much for stopping by and being here for my son's card. Have a wonderful day. Bye.